is wrong to somehow suggest that an undocumented immigrant is a criminal. Being an undocumented immigrant is not a crime. I know what a crime looks like. An undocumented immigrant is not a criminal. 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 An undocumented immigrant is not a criminal, and we have to correct course in this conversation. We're not going to treat people who are undocumented across the border as criminals. That's correct. It is.
An undocumented immigrant is not a criminal. Interesting. Okay. I think they are, because they're called illegals. Don't try to change the vocabulary. Undocumented. Why are they undocumented? Is it because they aren't supposed to be here in the first place? Yeah, I think so. So that means illegal. Okay. Okay. Anyway, I came across this video. We're continuing with our theme of the DNC today, because a guy by the name of Steve Cortez, hopefully I pronounced his name correctly. If I didn't, I apologize. But he absolutely trolled the DNC. Yeah. For the second time. Another person has trolled the DNC. I mean, because, you know, not very difficult to do. I won't elaborate on that too much. I'm gonna be nice, okay? I'm gonna be nice. I'm not gonna say why it's easy to troll these folks, but I'm gonna be polite, all right? But yeah, I showed you guys that video clip because in this clip he's walking around with an illegal. Y'all just have to see what he does, man. It's absolutely hilarious. With that being said, let's dive in.
Cortez here on the west side of Chicago, Democratic National Convention at United Center. The Democrats, of course, want open borders and want an endless stream of illegal migrants pouring into the United States. This is my new acquaintance, Edwin. Say hello.
My name is Edwin. Nice to meet you.
All right, Edwin is from Venezuela, and we're going to take Edwin into the DNC so that he can meet the Democrats who want open borders. He should meet his new friends, hear the speakers, and learn about the Democratic Party. So, Edwin, let's head in, shall we?
Excelente.
Right. This is Edwin from Venezuela, migrant, invited in by the Democrat Party. He'd like to come into the Democratic Convention.
You have to get your credentials. Yep, you have to go to Jackson.
Yep. Wait, you mean he needs credentials and permission to come in?
Yes.
To get past the wall?
Yes.
Oh, it's like a border wall in a way, huh?
Yeah. You have to have ID, credentials. He can come
Okay,
in.
to come to the United States?
No.
Not to come to the United States, okay, but to come to the Democratic Convention.
Here, baby.
Okay, you believe in security. You believe in securing a boundary. Edwin can't come in.
Without credentials.
That's all I know.
I commend you on guarding this border. You're doing it very effectively, folks.
Good morning.
You need credentials to get into the DNC, but not for the country. Interesting. Interesting how that works, isn't it? They had more security for the DNC than we have for our southern border. That's crazy. That's crazy work right there. That's crazy work.
Hi there. We would like to get some credentials for Edwin. Come on, Edwin. Edwin is from Venezuela.
Hi, I'm Ron.
So we tried to get Edwin into the convention. He's a migrant from Venezuela. No organization, just American. And he's a migrant from Venezuela. Wanted to get into the convention. We figured that we'd love to have a migrant from Venezuela come in. They said we need to get credentials, so we're here to get the credentials.
Okay. Has anyone filled out an application for him?
So you have to. There's a process in the application. He didn't have that at the border.
Okay. I have my own personal beliefs on this, but right now I'm serving as custody. So I've asked him to turn the camera off.
Just to be clear, we have been ejected from the DNC credentialing office because we're not permitted to be here. We don't have permission. We didn't go through the application process. Seems like the United States would use similar rules about crossing the U.S. border. DNC doesn't believe in that, but they do believe in it for their own convention.
They escorted this man all the way out of the building because he didn't have credentials and they didn't like the questions he was being asked. But how many people have they escorted out of this country? Exactly. Rules for thee, no rules for me. I can have protection and safety while you live in squalor and violence and chaos. I don't have to deal with it. Interesting how that works. Interesting. Now, I wouldn't have complained at all if the DNC said, you know what? We like defunding the police, so we're not going to have any police. We're going to live by the rules that we want to enforce. We'll have peace officers. I made a story on that where in a city in California, they had peace officers, officers with no guns. Officers with no guns, right? Walking the streets of a California city, and there's a clip of them like running away from somebody committing a crime. And all they're doing is just there to just call the actual police. And it's like, what's the point? Just hire more police. Why do you have these peace officers? Now, I wouldn't complain if they just had peace officers, right? Outside the DNC to quell down any ruckus going on. All right, cool. But no, you had officers, and you had thousands of, maybe not thousands, hundreds of officers surrounding the DNC, along with walls, fences, and cement barricades to ensure that whoever you didn't want in stayed out. But we don't have that for the border. When Trump tried to build the wall, we don't have $5 billion. That's too expensive. But you got a wall around the DNC, though. Interesting.
This is Edwin. He's from Venezuela. He's a migrant. Democratic Party wants an endless stream of migrants into America, so I'd like him to go and meet his political friends, listen to the speeches, and come in the Democratic convention. While you're laughing, he's allowed to come to the United States without identification or permission. Can he come into the DNC?
I don't think the Secret Service is going to go for it, no.
They're not going to go for it? Well, they went for it at the border.
Well, maybe he can get credentials.
Stop. How can we help you, sir?
We'd like to get Edwin in. The Democratic Party invited him into America from Venezuela. We'd like to get Edwin in to meet his Democratic friends.
No, they
Do you need credentials to go in the United States?
We're done.
Do you need credentials to go in the United States?
You need credentials to pass this point.
So we do need credentials here to get past this heavily armed barrier. Well, Edwin, Kamala Harris has an open border. You're allowed in America. You're not allowed into her party. Oh well, Edwin, we tried. 2 gates, credentials. 0 for 3. That's a strikeout in baseball. See? Today's strikes. We're out.
Podría haber una diferencia.
Same in Caracas, same in Venezuela.
Yeah.
Hey, shout out to Steve Cortez. I believe I think it's this guy actually. Shout out to Steve. Big shout out to Steve, man. Shout out to Steve. Absolutely hilarious guy. Exposing the DNC for the hypocrites they really are. The hypocrisy, man. The hypocrisy. That's just oh my goodness. Protection for me. No protection for you. Goodness gracious. Wow. Wow. Anyway, as always, y'all let me know your thoughts. Share this video, friends and family, so they can see the hypocrisy too. You know, hit the like button, leave a comment, as always, and I'm going to catch y'all on the next one. Peace and love. I'm out.